Welcome to Biblio Files, a show from the Ann Arbor District Library that's all about books. Each episode, we get together and talk about one book topic in just a few minutes. This time, we're talking about a favorite memoir, and I'm joined by Lucy and Amanda, and I'm Christopher. Amanda, what did you pick?
Hi, so I actually have read a lot of memoirs over the years, and when I was trying to decide the one I wanted to talk about today, it's the 2015 book by Sally Mann called Hold Still. She's a prolific American photographer. The book, it's a memoir, it's about 500 pages, and it's interspersed with her photographs. I read it close to when it came out, so I read it around 2015, 2016, and I don't remember all of the bits and pieces of her life and the things she talked about. I just remember when I read it, I mean, for me, for a 500-page memoir, that's like a good investment. And I remember being so enveloped in it, and I just loved reading, and I couldn't put it down. I do have a love of photography. I studied photography for a while, so that was part of the draw for me. But it's sort of a gothic memoir. There's definitely some darkness. She talks about growing up in rural Virginia with her family, and then her future husband and her children, and just this continued like drama and darkness throughout her life. I guess you could say it's sort of a read-alike for Jeanette Walls, something like The Glass Castle, but not completely. It just has a bit of a darkness to it because there's a lot of terrible things that happen like throughout her life. But I just really was wrapped up on the book. I'm really glad I read it. I like her photography. There's a bit of controversy around some of the stuff that she photographs. She photographs mainly black and whites. She has some of her children when they were small. She got into landscapes, and later she focused on more like darker, like death and decay, mostly black and white. And I like the way I like her images, and I love the way she wrote the book, and I love the things she describes, and just the way she talks about her life, like so like just dramatically and candidly. And I just thought it was great. I saw her speak at the U of M Penny Stamps speaker series several years ago in 2012, and that was quite a treat. So I love the book, Hold Still by Sally Mann. Lucy, what did you read this week?
Well, before I tell you, I just want to say that Hold Still has been on my to-read list since it came out. And so now I'm just like sold. Cool. Hearing you say that like you couldn't put it down. And so I'm excited to read that. The memoir that I picked is called Nobody Will Tell You This But Me by Bess Kalb. She used to be a writer for Jimmy Kimmel. And this is a memoir that's really constructed in an unusual way. Bess was really, really close with her grandmother, Bobby. Like the day that Bess was born, she and Bobby fell in love, and Bobby was a force to be reckoned with. And they were so close, and both very funny and like very strong women, and just a lot of opinions. But when Bobby died, Bess had kept every one of her voicemails. And so to sort of come to terms with not having her grandmother in her life anymore, she started to write this memoir. So some of it's about Bess and her life, but some of the chapters are from Bobby's point of view, her grandmother's point of view, but in her grandmother's words, because she kept her grandmother's voicemails. So it's funny, and it's poignant, and it's got some like really great lines in it. It made me laugh out loud at times, but then you're also feeling very moved because she talks about her grandmother's funeral from the grandmother's point of view, or like 1 week dead from the grandmother's point of view, but her grandmother's still giving her advice that sort of fuels the arc of the memoir. So I just loved it, and it has stuck with me since I read it, because of the unusual construction. So that is Nobody Will Tell You This But Me by Bess Kalb. Christopher, what did you pick?
Well, I think the three of us have all picked such different memoirs this time. I chose this book from, let me get it out of the glare, from Ora Pavel, How I Came to Know Fish. And this is a book of short stories. It's not strictly a memoir. They are very lightly fictionalized stories of Oda's childhood, who grew up in the rural part of Czechoslovakia at the time under Nazi occupation. And all of the stories are very quiet reflections on nature and show a kind of proud, quiet resilience in the face of occupation. And last night I reread one of the chapters called "Carp for the Wehrmacht," and it's such a beautiful story. It's really the relationship of Oda and his father before his father is sent away, and it of course involves fish. So it's really a lovely story, and highly recommend it. I think it's still available in print now, but I don't think the library has a copy. So really interesting, the 3 different books that we picked for this episode, I thought. Any final thoughts? Okay, well, what we have coming up next is a book that you have given as a gift. And if you have any comments about this topic or anything else, you can leave a comment below and go ahead and like and subscribe. So we'll see you next time. Take care.